let's get started.
Let's get started, man.
It is game number 7.
What if I cast the whole game in an accent?
You do, Fenna. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
Poor Schnitzel's being destroyed on Reddit. Meanwhile, we've got our Protoss and Terran heroes here on Neo Planet S, a map which has now been removed from the Season 5 ladder map pool. We'll see how these two go with it here. Down in the bottom left-hand side, I had the pleasure of meeting this young man up in Brisbane when I was there for the Vroom 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 tournament, which I'm sure a couple of you guys in the chat were at as well. It is Forbes.
Yep. Tuner and Shampoo, what the hell? Alright, in the top right, spawning in the red, as Protoss. He's got his work cut out for him. It is Proba. Zanabi, I can't actually stream because my internet sucks. Sucks a lot. Of large phallic objects.
Nemesis coming in to save the day for Schnitzel. But yeah, Neo Planet S has been removed.
Oh shit!
Game resumed.
Oh my god.
Sorry!
Who do you think you are?
I pressed the wrong button, man.
Who do you think you are?
God damn it.
Alright, so see how our players go. How do you press the wrong button? What were you trying to press?
Because I updated my hotkeys and I was looking at trying to press the hotkey for chat history, but now it's my pause button apparently.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't me, man. It was Steve the dog.
Steve the dog. What a dog. Alright. But yeah, Billy is Flux Nemesis. Anyway. So Neo Planet S has been removed from the map pool now. I'm partly happy about that because I didn't really
I'm very happy.
like this map at all. It was fun for cannon rushing, and that was about it. But
It's good for 6-pull, then. I actually went into ATL Melbourne with a 6-pull build on this map for ZVZs.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really good build against pull first and hatch first. But every time I did it against King Kong and Jazzbaz, and they both 9-pulled. And it's like build order loss. But I'm pretty sure I would have got a build order win against pull first and hatch first, because the first time you see it, I think it wins. I beat both Pet and Ninja with it in practice.
Well, there you go.
Because you can sneak past the Overlord with the Lings and they don't see anything.
Oh, that's pretty sneaky. Well, Forbes has some really great mechanics. As I mentioned, I did see him quite a while ago when I was up in Brisbane. Also got to say hello to Wet Towel while we were up there as well. But yeah, Forbes is a really strong player. We'll see how he goes here. He's gone for a very, very quick expansion. We can see the 2 racks also finishing up as well, so he'll have a few Marines popping out. First orbital command just finishes, drops down a mule, and I think we'll probably see some very standard play favouring some drop harassment here from Forbes. That's one thing, if I remember correctly, that I did see, is that he was quite decent with his drops. So we'll see how he goes with that particular strategy. Meanwhile, for Probe, has started up his natural expansion as well, also going for the mothership core and just those first few units, and that's around about it for now.
So I think you said in the last PvT we casted a couple of games ago that if you want to be super safe, you go for 3 racks after the expansion, but it looks like Forbes only going for the 2 racks, so playing a little bit greedy here. Just getting a low count of Marines, probably wants to pick up another command center really fast. There we go, boom. Super fast 3rd command center. This guy wants the economy. He wants the minerals.
Yeah, it's nice economic play here. This is something which has been coming about every now and then in PvT. You do see some players, even at the very high level, who are willing to say, "All right, well, I've got the natural secure with a single bunker and a couple of Marines here. What I'm going to do is throw down a 3rd CC," and a lot of people have been really profiting off this by getting a wonderful economy going. They get their normally.
Oh, it's a big supply block.
Yeah, normally that's Ouch, that hurts. But yeah, normally you do see the factory come up pretty quickly after this third CC, and people will, you know, most players will go into their normal sort of buyer style. So we'll see if Forbes is going to go in that particular direction here for Probe. Now, Probe, I have seen quite a few of his games recently. We got to see him in the God of Meta Cup, which we were casting last weekend, I believe it was, and he had some amazing PvT, absolutely brilliant PvT, going for a completely Colossus-free style. No need for the Colossus, says Probes, and he just goes straight up to the Templar tech, and I would not be surprised if we see him go for a very similar thing here. In fact, the build so far is exactly as he did in those previous games in the GMC.
Yeah. I like the sound of that style a lot, just skipping a Colossus. Means you don't have to worry about the Vikings and balancing your Colossus count against the Vikings that they have. And they might just build up some random Vikings anyway, since it is so common for people to go into Colossus. I really like the idea of a completely different style, which Probe might do. Scan going down on the base, you just see that Twilight Cancer. Robo is right on the edge though, so he doesn't see that. I'm sure he can kind of assume that's there, but he does only see the Twilight, and the Observer comes out now. Already got one going across the map as well. Probe actually already got one in the base, so Probe's got observers everywhere. He's gonna be able to see everything that's going on.
Loves his observers here, just keeping an eye on what he wants to do. So this Fast Storm with the no Colossus style, the Diet Colossus style, is basically, you know, I mentioned before Jim's kind of Phoenix Colossus style. This one and the Phoenix Colossus from Jim is basically your two main kinds of types of PvT that people that have been doing the rounds at the moment in this particular matchup. This is kind of what people have been playing around with and saying, all right, is this cool? Is this not cool? Now this particular build does it can be a little bit hairy right at the start. That normal 11-minute push, which you do see from a lot of Terran players, with a sizable Bioforce +1 on weapons, a couple of medevacs. That push that comes at 11 minutes is normally it can be a little bit frustrating to deal with sometimes when you go for a Colossus-less style. But as we can see, you know, there's no need to worry about that because Forbes has gone for such an economically based style here. Triple orbital command straight into the double E bays. We've got an armory coming up. He is not concerned about that kind of push, and this kind of plays into the hands of Probe a little bit because he's going to have his Storm up in nice time. He's going to have charge. He's going to have a nice mixture of Archons, charge lots, some sentries, a couple of sentries, and of course some Storm as well. And he'll be pretty comfortable on 3 bases. So I highly doubt anything really exciting is going to happen for the next probably the next minute, probably 2 or 3 minutes in fact, while both of these players just get their macro on and get prepared for that mid to late game.
Yeah, both players playing extremely greedy. The Forbes build is so greedy, picking up that third command center before even taking the gas. And as you can see, he's maxed out on his SCVs already. He's taking that gas on the third base. The economy is just crazy. He's got 62 SCVs already, and it's 53 probes for Probe, but he's still droning in his third, whereas Forbes already got all the SCVs that he needs on his third. And we've got the Warp Prism coming out now as well, so we might start getting some harassment in this game. We've got the Medivacs coming out as well, so the harassment in this game might start to pick up real soon.
Yeah, what Probe likes to do at this point is we will probably see him try and get some Zealot harassment in on the sides of the bases. We can see that his Storm Tech is also on the way. Sometimes he likes to throw out a little bit of a Storm Drop harassment.
What?
What?
Does it just break in the middle of the game?
Oh, wow.
Hot Ned.
Which is funny because Forbes is like really buff as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alright, anyway, but what I was saying is that Probe will try and get some harassment down. As soon as he sees that Forbes has recognized that it's a Templar-based strategy, we'll see Probe get double Robo. He'll go for Colossi and switch it over, and then slowly move his way back into a standard sort of Colossus Templar Archon kind of style as the core for the Protoss forces. So, but you know, it's kind of the predictions that we've got going for this game here. Forbes just macroing up quite nicely. Double drops proceeding from the right-hand side of the map, while a small force moves towards the top side, and we'll see how much damage this is able to get done.
Okay, we've got 2 cannons here. What can they do? Oh, he's just sitting in the cannon range. He's going to lose that Medivac. No, he does manage to get out in time. And we've got another attack coming at the top left side of the map for Forbes. Going to try and sneak into that third base, try and get some damage done. But the units are all there for Probe. Where is that Warp Prism actually? Where did that end up going?
9 o'clock.
So, oh yeah, you can click them now. That's sick. Alright, so yeah, Warp Prism's there. It's loaded up. One Zealot.
Medevacs inside the main. Double Medevacs have now made their way through. They've gotten through the net, dropping in the Marines and the Marauders going to town on, well, nothing specific there, just sort of firing down and not really getting too much done, but they do take apart quite a lot of the units, and Templar comes up to storm. Meanwhile, over at the third base of Probe, he is able to fight back against that Terran force that moved in, but the Marines and the Marauders have gone completely unchecked inside the main. They will eventually be taken down as the Zealots come through. The planetary Nexus is activated and does clean up the rest of this attack, but the Cyber went down, which is really, really unfortunate here for Probe. That does sort of just delay him just a tiny bit in terms of some of his production from the Warp Gates.
Yeah, Cyber's gone down, and now the Ghost production for Forbes has started up. It looks like he just wants to keep playing defensive from this point, maybe poke in with his army at the top left. But now there are Templars. Actually, these Templars are a bit undefended. Scan going down. He's going to run up this ramp. Can he pick up the Templars? Probe not watching them. There goes down the Templars. They're trying to merge, and there goes the merge. But still, he's going to lose 4 Templars there for nothing. Warping in a couple of units. Zealots coming in, and there's the pickup. He's going to go into the main. There's no cannons here. There's 2 pylons there he can take down and depower 4 gateways for Forge, the Templar archives, and everything. And this is massive. There's no units here for Probe. He has got that Nexus cannon, and he's not focusing down the pylons. He's trying to get that mothership core, but it looks like he might just want to pick up. Oh, can he get that pylon? No, he's not going to be able to get that pylon. You just get the Archon, and now Probe is able to clean up these forces, but Forbes is moving across the map with another army full of ghosts.
Yeah, that was a really, I think it would have been nicer to try and target down one of the pylons, but it was interesting because it was a very narrow space for Probe to come back and defend with, and as everyone knows, Archons are very fat. They actually break your chairs, so it would have been very hard for Probe to get back inside, but he was able to get there eventually with the help of the planetary Nexus as well. And now we can see, as mentioned, that Forbes is coming along, snipes down 2 of the Templar, but the feedback's wonderfully done by Probe. A counter snipe from one of the ghosts again drops an EMP, and now the shields are gone on some of those units. The Storms, there is only one available. In fact, sorry, there is a second one available here on one of the Templar as well. But the forces are very minimal here for Probe. He doesn't exactly have the biggest of clumps to be able to counteract this with. He does have 1-2 on his upgrades. Forbes with some great stutter step on 2-2 Marines and Marauders. There is a big storm, doesn't really get too much done. But Probe, is he going to be able to fight this back? Here we go. Drops down the MKP factory. Now coming through. Will he be able to take advantage of this position? Wonderfully split up by Forbes there, but the Storms are just wreaking havoc on everything, and no more splits after that. And Probe says, thank you very much, I'll take all of those. And the Medevacs will try and dive their way inside the main base, dropping off a single Marauder and a couple of Marines. But that is not going to do too much. A Probe has had a, well, pretty decent sort of session here in this middle section of our game. As we lag a little bit, because Probe, with his amazing cable internet or whatever he's got, that's way better than mine, is apparently lagging. Oh, okay, there you go.
He's updating his shampoo ball. No, like, I don't know. That engagement, it looked like Forbes is going to win it, to be honest. So this composition from Probe working out really, really well. Like, Forbes' army looked way bigger, and the supply was like 170 to 130 as well. So the composition for Probe really paying off right there. He's got 2-2 as well, but it's 2-2 for Forbes as well. So just the composition, it seems quite insane. Those Zealots are so good.
Yeah, really, really strong with their
Game resumed.
with their little bit of tankiness there. You add in the fact that a Sentry Guardian Shield actually gives them that extra little bit of 2 armor as well, and they take virtually nothing from the Marines. So he's really taking advantage of that. We can now see that Forbes is now heading across towards the top side of the map. A triple drop is now making its way across. A couple of Marines and Marauders wandering around on the southern side of the map. But those Medevacs, are they in vision of that? Ooh, just outside the vision range of the observer that's there. And
It seems to know, though.
yeah, it looks like.
Oh, maybe it doesn't. He's moving it back down there. Now here comes the drop. Can he focus down the Nexus? Is that what he wants to do? He's just going for the probe line right now. Feedback on that medevac, but he doesn't manage to kill it. Can he get out of this and go into the main? Nexus cannon going down. Feedback on the medevac. Another feedback. Can he take down that last medevac? No. but he lost two medivacs full there, and two stalkers walking in. Can he pick up this medivac before it drops? That was horrible trade for Forbes. 3 medivacs for basically 0 damage. He has got a couple of units left in the main, but they're not going to do too much. And now he's going to try and deny this 4th base with his small group of Marines at the bottom right-hand side of the map. And then it looks like Probe is just building up a death ball right now. I don't know how Forbes is going to deal with it.
Many Zealots, and a single Colossus is now on its way out. Except he's left the Colossus at home, unfortunately. There it is. Alright. So we're all good. Probe is now up to the 202 on his upgrades. As we can see for Forbes, he has got his own 3-3, looking very good with his upgrades and his economy right now. Forbes up to 67 SCVs, 4 mining, or 3.5 mining bases, I suppose you could say, as the main is starting to get a little bit depleted. He's got a whole bunch of racks. 8 racks are now out for him as well, with the double starport available to him as well. And I mean, you know, this has been a really interesting kind of game because Probe's been on the back foot a little bit, but he has been able to maintain himself. His probe count did drop a little bit, but he's been able to keep everything together. His 3-3 is now just finished up, and this could get very interesting soon, especially when you factor in the 3-3 and the Colossi that are now out for Probe.
Yeah, and here comes the engagement. There's no Vikings. Actually, there is some Vikings in this army now. He just built a few right there. 3 on the production tab as well, but this army from Probe looking really scary. A couple of Zealots are on low HP, and there is a bit of a Zealot attack down here at the bottom right.
Wow.
But that's just one Zealot on 1 HP. The SCV is going to kill it. Oh, there we go. And I think we're going to get an engagement soon, and this engagement will decide the game. We've got a scan going down. So many resources for Forbes, so he might want to trade away a bit further away from his base so we can reinforce before Probe gets there.
And Probe has also got his 4th Nexus up and running, but no probes over there just at the moment. We'll probably see a few transfer across. His main base is just about done. But as you mentioned, the big battle may occur very soon. We've got a couple of Templar. There are at least 4 Colossi here.
There's a lot of Zealots at the bottom though, just sneaking out. He kind of wants those in the battle. This is going to be big army value for Forbes. This is it. The goats to the front, all getting taken down. EMPs going off. Colossi doing a lot of work without the Zealot. Oh my god, such just crazy DPS from Probe though. There's Colossi doing a lot of work. Massive warp in for Probe as well. A bunch of Stalkers getting warped in there. At least 10 Stalkers at once. And we've got the Zealots at the bottom of the map as well. They need to start moving, doing some damage. But even without the Zealots, he still managed to crush through the army.
That was just absolute desolation there from Probe, doing a wonderful job in the battle. Somehow the Ghosts were not able to kill off the Templar before they were able to get their storms down. And now Probe is attacking into the 3rd base. The SCV's looking to try and protect that bunker with a little bit of hold position micro there from Forbes. But at his own 4th base, he's also still in a little bit of trouble. Colossi bearing down the Stalkers, protecting them against any threats from the air. But the Zealots down at the 3rd are about to, well, they've taken out the bunker, and that is the main source of defense here at this base. Some extra forces will come through, but the 4th is also under attack. Storms on the bottom, Storms on the top, and the Planetary goes down. The Colossi doing immense amounts of work here, and Forbes is forced to GG out.
Probe is bringing the -1 all kill, guys.
Probe is a coming.
Such a strong army composition from Probe. I see what you mean.
He had really good control over you know, the various areas. That's the thing about that map, is that it can be really hard to take a 3rd, and you sort of, when you get it though, it's very easy to sort of section it off. Like a lot of the times when you talk to mech Terran players, when Terran players like to mech, they generally like to section off a portion of the map, make a line of, like, just a straight line of defense. And the thing about Neoplanet S is that once you do have that 3rd, it can be quite simple to protect your sort of quadrant of the map, as it were. It's not necessarily the easiest, like some other maps like Akalon or something like that, but it can be done. So it just requires you being established is I think the big problem. Is a lot of the trouble that happens in PvZ is that people have trouble getting establishments set up at the 3rd base. But anyway,